Oh, my computer froze for a while. What fun to start on the Friday other side. Let me get us on the screen, too. We got people joining us already. Anthony, what's up, man? I'm Dan Borowski, hanging out on the couch. Finally at the end of the week. A very, very long week for both of us, man. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. Happy we're finally Friday.
Screw the
Ready for
flu. Everybody go get their flu shots because it was not a
yeah.
fun week at WPHT. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, everyone's been sick. Everyone's ready to hunker down, I guess, this weekend as well with the snowstorm of the century
All right,
after
John
3 years.
Bolaris.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not going to happen. You think there's going to be a snowstorm?
I mean, there'll be snow. I think we're overblowing it just because we haven't really seen snow lately. So
Yeah. Is it ever going to snow again? Climate change?
yeah.
Is it real?
It's over. It's over. It will never snow again.
So welcome into the other side. I'm Dan Borowski, producer of the Dom Giordano program, Anthony Dorenzo, the whole spiel, Dawn Stenslin program, Kalen Company, everything this week, it seems. You were wearing a lot of hats this week, so thank you for what you did for the station. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
It's been a heck of a week with Dom being sick, Greg being sick. So everybody feel better. Dom's on the mend. I think Greg's also on the mend, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely.
Back and rolling soon. What we do here is we take you on the other side of the glass. Anthony, me, we're both producers, and we give you the other side, being the other's perspectives as well. Talking a lot about politics, entertainment, anything you want to talk about. Chris Forsyth says Saw 2 in the chat. So I guess we're talking about Saw 2 tonight.
That's inside. It's an inside joke. We always do the mystery movie clip. So
I was very confused. I was like, that's a bit outdated, isn't it? Didn't that come out like? Do you want to tell do you want to bring us inside the joke or no?
We would Daniel, our old producer, he always loved the Saw movies, so he was always talking about doing Saw for our mystery movie clip. And the chat just they get over. What's another one they always bring up? The Never Ending Story. They always think I'm going to do that movie as well. So I don't know.
Have you ever done Saw 2? Are you going to throw it in at anything?
No, we have. We've done the Saw movies. It's the Never Ending Story. I still think I don't think I've ever done it. So that I should do that one at one point.
It's a good movie. There's a lot of great quotes to pull from too.
Yeah.
Jimmy asked who sat in for Mike this week. It was or who sat in for Dom this week. It was Mike Opelka.
Yeah, Mike Opelka. Yeah.
One of the freaking awesomest people in this industry. Really fun guy to work with.
Yeah, Opelka's always ready to crack a joke.
So we got a ton to get into. We got a Epstein breaking, which is going to be a lot of fun to follow as this develops. A model jumping out of a window, right? So what happened?
Yeah. So the New York Post is reporting top model who jumped to her death from her Wall Street apartment building. She was on Epstein's jet, as court documents show. This came out this morning when we were live on Kalen Company, and her name is Ruslana Korshanova.
She's
job. Russian. She's Russian.
Russian studies course really coming to a.
Her trip to Epstein's Island was weeks before the money man was arrested in 2006 and later convicted of sex with underage girls. He was listed as being with her on the flight, along with 3 of his staffers, bodyguard Ion Zonviv and personal chef Lance Calloway, and also longtime assistant Sarah Kellen. So they all vouch for this.
So is the idea that she was a girl that was regrettably victimized?
I mean, she was 18 years old, and it seems like obviously if she was 18, she was probably courted before she was 18. So
yeah,
this is something that people knew, but it just continues to peel back this onion and show. I mean, it led her boyfriend said, quote, in this article, she said she had issues that she could not put away. And it led to her taking her own life. So it's tragic. I mean, I will say I am very, very happy that, first of all, we are actually getting some documents. And second of all, that this is actually top news nationwide. And people are very concerned about it.
So, it's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. As a lover of conspiracy theories, it's nice to see that so many people.
I mean, this isn't a conspiracy. It
started as a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the elites trafficking children to islands, and it's true now. It's freaking nuts. And so say we have those pictures of Bill Clinton, but he's not in the presidential, discussions right now. One Donald Trump is. If it comes out that Trump, I asked Dom this question. I want to see if you have a different perspective. if it comes out that Trump is indeed involved in this, does that just completely burn his campaign?
I definitely think so, because he's all anti-establishment. And then if you're involved in that, I mean, if you're around it, I get it. He's a guy with money, and it seemed like Epstein targeted every guy with money. So I'm not going to fault him for that. It's the same. I mean, RFK has admitted to being on his planes. He hasn't admitted to being on the island. But, I think there's very much a time frame here post 2006. Well, yeah, but if you were there post 2006, after it was legitimately a real known thing that he was involved in something like this.
I think RFK said too that he was like, I flew with my family for charity events.
Yeah,
so he came out and said something similar, right?
Yeah, and he said he wants all the truth.
I'm not doing impressions. That was a terrible impression when it hurt my voice. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. But he was saying the best thing to solve this, like the best answer to conspiracy, is transparency. That was his quote. And that I think that's the best thing, especially with this topic. Like, if you want people to stop accusing celebrities that didn't do it or weren't involved, give us the information. Why do you think people go crazy over this stuff? It's because we're told to think things, and you don't give us any evidence whatsoever. So
yeah. So it's crazy, man. Like I think it's just going to drive it right. Like you talk about the establishment too with Trump, and if RFK gets ahead of it, like you're saying here, and he says you just got to be transparent, does that put it back on Trump as now Trump's further part of the establishment? And does he lose all those like Bernie bros, the moderates that are kind of open to switching as long as someone appears to be anti-establishment? And RFK is definitely left-leaning, but he's that anti-establishment candidate.
I mean, Trump, to me, it's hard for myself to think he really is anti-establishment, quote unquote, especially if these rumors of him
I think he is.
I mean,
you wouldn't have those in Washington fighting so hard against him if he wasn't anti-establishment.
Yeah, I think to a point, but I also think he's more a part of that system than he thinks. And if he's really considering someone like Nikki Haley as his vice president, then yeah, I don't think he's necessarily anti-establishment anymore. Yeah.
Like you don't put a neocon as your VP that wants to go to war when you're the America First type candidate.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll get back into Epstein, but I want to get to can we get to the Miami situation?
I know you want.
Let me check the chat first before we get to the Miami situation. I'll tease a little bit. Jimmy writes, word is going around that Dom had a disagreement with Dom today about voting age. I think he means Dom and Dan. You were kind of involved with that in the background too, that Dom wanted to raise the voting age to 21.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't want to raise the voting age. It's ridiculous. I think if we're going to be about freedom, we have to just stay about freedom. Like most people, whether you're going to the military or whatever you're doing, I think everyone, if you want to be involved at 18, you should be able to, no matter who you vote for.
I mean, from a winning standpoint, I think it would benefit conservatives to make the vote, older.
No, but you know what? Here we go with that. I don't agree with that either. You know why they say that? Because they're terrible at messaging and they have no idea how to reach young people. So they say, oh, well, we should ban them from voting. Like, no, make these kids have a better strategy.
Like them, ban them, get them out.
Have a better strategy. I don't think it's that hard. It really isn't that hard, but they just sit there. We said this before. They just act like everyone in their party is 50 and up, and they can't keep doing that.
Yeah. I made that point last week when we were talking student loans. Was it with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Where
that was when we were filling in.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, because we have the clip. Yeah, so it was the last time on Otherside. Man, it's been a long freaking week. Sorry, I was going to ask if that was with Mike or Dom because I can't remember what I talked about with who. But no, that's from last time. And yeah, it's you can't drive away the younger vote. And the way that they're messaging student loans right now, man, it's just driving away young people. I understand that we're not going to forgive loans. I'm completely with you, but you can't say those people are morons for being hoodwinked into these loans. They're young. They're young people with parents who many times encouraged them to indeed take those loans.
Well, they led us down this path. So
I'm not going to read this one out loud, just in case we put the podcast out there and it's on the Odyssey platforms and all. But read Chris's comment there.
Grow up, Chris. Come on. I gave you wrestling. I gave you wrestling tickets today. Come on, what are we doing with that?
Yeah, Major League Wrestling, is that what it is?
Yeah, he wants some Major League Wrestling tickets. Yeah.
MLW, hell yeah.
It'll be tomorrow in South Philly at 2300 Arena.
Hold on, let me pull this out real quick. Got my flaming skull belt here, my WWE toy belt. Oh yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
I might want to go to MLW myself. You want to head over to that? That might be fun.
Yeah, why not?
Jimmy says I'm press danced it up to Dom. Well, welcome to the Dom show. I mean, it's an open discussion all the time, and Dom's very happy to take different opinions and roll with them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very, very nice to work with the guy. Oftentimes you've gotten into it with Dom over topics as well, Anthony.
Oh yeah, Danny
You're not even
Green,
a producer. You just hang around afterwards, and there's something that intrigues you. You're like, I gotta get on there. All right, so Miami. Let's see if this works because my screen has been, or my computer has been really crappy tonight. So first up, let's hit this. Miami Mall, New Year's Day. I think this is huge police response, right? Look at all this. It's
I mean, it looks like their whole force once you see all of it.
Like it zooms out, and allegedly there's black helicopters flying around. It looks like a scene out of Stranger Things. I gotta say, like all these cop cars or some kind of sci-fi. There's nothing in Stranger Things that's like this, but like a sci-fi film, like all the way down the line. And the reports were when this first came out, when the cops came out, that there was a group of unruly teenagers fighting with sticks, I guess was the thing. And you said that you read the teenagers were lighting off fireworks, right?
I did see videos of that. There were videos of teenagers inside the mall lighting off fireworks, fighting. There were multiple fights. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like that's necessarily a lie, but I also agree with you and can see how
it's a lot of police to respond to that kind of situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So reports started developing on social media that this police response was not due to a group of unruly teens, but in response to I think it was a 10 to 15 foot creature that was at the mall. Maybe an alien? I don't know.
The video to me doesn't convince me the way it like convinces you a little bit.
It doesn't convince me. I like the discussion. I like wondering. So let me play the video that we're talking about. Yeah. There's another video here. I think it's part of that video, but someone just zoomed in on it. And you see the police kind of surrounding this. Sorry, bringing up my screen again. This is like the front of the mall here. And we're pointing right here. You see this little white figure here, Anthony?
Yeah.
Take a watch.
There's like a police spotlight on it. Kind of. You can almost see that, like lightly.
And you can kind of see it's like a figure walking. Or is that just like smoke being spotlight?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I almost feel like that could even be like if there was smoke and people are walking through, maybe that, you know what I mean? And it's just hard to see.
Okay, so it's like smoke dissipating, and that's kind of where you get the pattern from.
I mean, that you would think, I guess it's far away, but I was saying you would think you'd be able to see that more clearly with the camera.
The thing that would have warranted a response of an entire police force would be if there was an extraterrestrial being at a mall, right?
Well, is this a coincidence that this happens the same week as the Epstein documents come out?
Oh, are you saying this is another?
Dun, dun.
Oh, man.
Are they trying to stir up the conspiracy theorists and distract them the same way?
You know what? Am I being hoodwinked right now? Am I being distracted from Epstein by this alien thing? Because I'm looking way too far into this. Like what's going on here?
That's where my mind went kind of right away. At least from a conspiracy standpoint. Like why would...
The only other thing I could think of is maybe there's a new mayor similar to here in Philadelphia. They wanted to show this would not be okay. So I'm going to send out the entire damn police force to show that, you can't be acting a fool in public like you were previously. I don't know. I have no idea this political situation down there, but it's interesting. It's interesting. You think there's aliens out there, Anthony?
I do think aliens are real.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're in Miami or there are aliens, but just ones that we've seen before. There's Florida men down there.
Yo, Chris is wild today. Am I finally going to get the clap? Talking about aliens, that's kind of where I'm thinking he's talking about with that. But...
I hope so.
Because if you don't know Chris, he's a Star Wars cosplayer. He's very big into sci-fi and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's just hoping for a world with aliens so he can live out his fictional dreams. Hey, speaking of fiction and entertainment, dude, Jack Reacher, Maisie and I checked it out. Completely overrated. Terrible show. Absolutely terrible show.
I turned on the first episode and just wasn't intrigued. I thought maybe I just didn't give it a chance. But from what you're saying, it seems like maybe I made the right decision.
It's not good. So if you don't know what Reacher is, it's the story of Jack Reacher, a guy, a vagrant that just travels the country. He's homeless essentially, but he's a military hero. And he just goes town to town solving crimes. There's like 44 or 22, I think, 22 books, young adult fiction novels based on this guy. Tom Cruise played him in a movie, and it's become now the most popular series being streamed right now through the holiday season. Season 2's active right now, but season 1, man, I cannot tell you. The acting was horrific. I had to look up if there was something wrong with the main actor. I'm not even kidding. Like if there was supposed to be something wrong in the script because his acting was just so off base, it seemed like there was. There are times. Can you shoot a handgun from underwater? I don't know if that's possible, but it doesn't seem very realistic. But there's moments like that where it just took you out of the moment. I'm sorry if you're a fan of Reacher. Completely overrated. It's like 8 out of 10 on IMDb, and it's ranked really high. And people, when it first came out, were comparing it to like Breaking Bad and some of the great other television shows.
Yeah, not on that level.
It's terrible. You watching anything good?
I have been getting into the lately. It's been hard for me to like watch as much as I want to, but I tried to watch the Saltburn movie. Have you heard of that? It's on Amazon now. It is just, it's a Paramount movie. One of the guys from Euphoria is in it, and actually,
I did see. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The new Joker's in it. Really weird, and like I think it tries hard to be edgy. It almost seems like their attempt at some sort of A24 movie. Reminds me of like Midsummer. If you've heard of that or watched that before, kind of it's different than that. And there's
so for some reason I thought it was something that took place, in olden times, but it's something that's like mid 2000s Oxford. I'm reading.
Yeah.
So synopsis: in mid 2000s, scholarship student Oliver Quick attends the University of. Oh my God! Now how am I getting the sound now? What's going on? That wasn't working all day. All right, let's get that out of here. Sorry. Scholarship student Oliver Quick attends the University of Oxford, struggling to fit in due to his inexperience with upper-class manners. He befriends Felix Can, an affluent and popular student who is empathetic to Oliver's stories of his parents' substance abuse and mental health issues. When Oliver becomes distraught over his father's sudden death, Felix comforts him and invites him to spend the summer at his family's estate, Saltburn. Huh.
Yeah, and then he gets to the place and some weird stuff happens. That classic case. And also, if I'm being completely transparent, I've been watching.
Comment down there about Reacher. Sorry. Season 1, not too bad. Blonde cop is hot. Great shower scene. Couldn't disagree there. And season 2 is crap, I've heard, but season 1 was crap too. Like I can't imagine it can get much worse. Loose ends not being tied up. All right. Let me just describe. I'm sorry. I want to hear what your guilty pleasure is here in a second because I got one for you too. But in Reacher, there's a character, an FBI agent. Turns out, spoiler alert, this guy's a bad guy. He gets shot in the second to the last episode, and he rolls down a hill. And this is like miles upon miles away from where the finale scene happens, where the finale shootout, a big shootout. It's an action show. And all of a sudden, because one of the protagonists needs an antagonist to face off against in the finale, he just randomly shows up on foot to face off against this guy. He doesn't tell his partners, doesn't give him a ring that he's still alive and that they're on their way to attack the. If you watch it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's horrible that this FBI agent just shows up randomly out of nowhere. But all right, go ahead. Give me your guilty pleasure.
Not that I chose to watch this, but I have been guilty by association watching Vanderpump Rules with my girlfriend lately. Have you ever watched that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not as
Absolutely
much as Real Housewives though. Like Maisie likes Vanderpump, but we're not really in that realm yet. But we're kind of just still in the Real Housewives, Lisa, before she went off and spun off into her own thing kind of world.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Why do I know so much about this?
Yeah, it's like you're Andy, the guy that runs it.
Right when you said Vanderpump Rules, I can't tell if it's my rant about Reacher or if it was Vanderpump Rules, but our viewers dropped by like half.
Probably because that, yeah.
Might be my rant. All right, go ahead.
No, but I mean, it's just funny because one of the guys actually in that show is related to the DJ boyfriend. I don't know any of their names, but the DJ boyfriend is related to George Michael, apparently. He talks about it in the one episode.
Oh,
So all these, yeah. I mean, what a legacy for him to have with that guy on
yeah.
that
There's
show.
someone in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that's like really famous, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they have connections, so
Yeah. God, why can't I think of the guy's name? He's a songwriter, an amazing songwriter, whatever. Someone might be able to fill it in chat. Soggy writes, he's a dude who played Aquaman on WB. Yeah, he's a veteran. Military stuff is not believable. Hey, Soggy, do me a favor, because you're the only one that cares about this, I think. Go look up on YouTube American Idol Aquaman, or Aquaman Idol is the name of the video. Season 3 of was it season 2 or season 3? I think it was season 3 of American Idol. The actor who plays Reacher and Aquaman on WB tried out for American Idol and actually wooed Paula Abdul, and it's a pretty funny scene. But you might remember it if you watched American Idol back then. But he's been around for a while, male model, actor, and he still sucks. I don't know how you're in the industry now for 20 years and you're still a freaking horrible actor. Yeah, guilty pleasure along those lines. Real Housewives, I still have to watch that because Maisie, when I give her the time, give her the remote, that's the usual destination. Hell's Kitchen, we just got into. New season.
I love Hell's Kitchen.
Are you watching Hell's Kitchen right now?
I didn't watch the new season. I need to start.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how to compare it to the other seasons. This is legitimately the first season I've ever watched of Hell's Kitchen.
I'm sure it's similar. I'm ready for it though. I didn't realize there was a new season until you mentioned it like last week.
Yeah, it was on a 3-week break for the holidays, but they just had the Black Jacket episode. I think you know what that means.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's now down to it's supposed to be 5, but again, spoiler alert, there's 6.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But great stuff, man. Gordon Ramsay is the man.
If you like food at all, or if you've ever worked in a restaurant, it's just so fun to watch. And like, especially, there's been so many times these people act like idiots and they deserve to get screamed at. Is he like embellishing? I'm sure to a point, but
he's allegedly much calmer now than he used to be. Like the earlier seasons of Hell's Kitchen, he laid into people much more.
Oh, dude, yeah.
There's one dude named Jason on this season that's horrible. Like he treats everyone like complete crap, and deserves just to be laid into. And Gordon kind of let him off easy. So
yeah,
kind of disappointing. I got to meet the great man a couple times, Gordon. Much taller than you'd expect, and he has a couple restaurants in Atlantic City. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Greg says if we want to go to MLW, you can get us tickets. Maybe do that.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's tomorrow 7.
Yeah, I'll be walking there in the snow.
Good old ECW arena, 2300 arena now. Sorry, I should probably plug it correctly. Okay, what does this even mean, Soggy? 7 watching, 5 likes. Come on, you two. You know who you are.
He's saying we know nobody will watch us.
We're freaking producers. Like, who's going to want to watch us? I don't know. We people. Chris and Jimmy join us. We do this for Chris and Jimmy only. Thanks, Chris and Jimmy, for joining us every week. I do appreciate it. All right, let's get back to some more serious topics, I guess. Sherelle Parker, inauguration. Inaugural speech, I guess is what you call it. Talked about Kensington, talked about public safety, stayed true to her word that she's had in the campaign trail, but focused a lot on community policing in her statements about public safety. But she stressed cleaning up Kensington and, not wanting to have open air drug markets in Philadelphia. And I don't know, Anthony, can it be done?
No, I think it can be done. They already were cleaning up the park. There's definitely roadblocks, and I know you and Dom were talking earlier about the Inquirer articles saying how, almost impossible it will be and how difficult the issues are to face, which I'm not disputing. But the fact that she's already cleaning up the park, how many days in, they're trying to go down there, they're trying to figure out ways to approach this. I mean, that is absolutely where we need to start, and I do think the community absolutely will try to help and try to find their own way to contribute in this kind of. Everyone wants us to be better, and I think even a lot of the addicts do. Even it's a hard thing to figure out, but if you could get ones that are willing to go to rehab and willing to want help and willing to help, just embrace that community and figure out things together, I think it's not impossible if we just try to keep doing it, because before we just ignored it. Did Mayor Kenny ever really talk about it? Once? Like,
Yeah.
I can't really
You really
remember.
talk about anything negative
Yeah.
ever?
Yeah.
What a joke of a mayor.
I mean, how long has this been an issue? Probably since he's been in office.
Oh, what, Kensington? Even further
Yeah.
back than
Well,
that.
was it this
Just
bad
cleanliness?
under? Was it like
Oh,
this
I want to say
under?
the New York Times, Walmart of heroin. So it really started becoming a national issue October 10th, 2018. So I think Kenny was in office then, right?
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying that this wasn't like it wasn't to this point when Mayor Nutter was in office, right?
It was bad. I mean, I worked as a intern for I was a social work intern working in like I, I guess like you would say northern and Philly general area, but a lot of time was spent in Kensington under the tracks. And I remember even then, this was 2009, 2010, so 15 years ago. About it
Yeah.
was it was bad. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't the drug bad though. It wasn't zombies wandering around. It was
Mhm.
just unsafe.
Yeah.
Well, I say just unsafe, you know. But it's been a steady decline, and you're right. I mean, under Kenny, it's just been progressively worse and worse. And every single other side, I gotta say the phrase, I blame Krasner, because as incompetent as Kenny was, I don't think he was actively ruining the city
Mhm.
as Krasner has. So I really hope that there's a scene in The Wire. I don't know how far you are now, but Mayor Tommy Carcetti, he gets into the mayor's office, and the former mayor on his way out says, "You know, you're excited now, but once you start getting shoveled piles of S, it's you're gonna get sick of eating shit." Well, I just said
Mhm.
whatever. Um, so I really hope that Krasner doesn't start sending her those bowls of crap, and she gets sick of eating and just gives up. Because I really think that's what eventually, inevitably, happened with Kenny. Is that he just gave up on the city because Krasner was going to do what Krasner wanted to do, and when push
I
came
don't
to
know. I just
shove,
think
he
Kenny
didn't
kind
have
of
much power to do much or anything.
yeah. I just think Kenny almost waved the white flag even before that was a whole problem, and that's an even deeper issue. I'm not saying that Krasner didn't make it worse. He definitely did, but Kenny, the fact that a mayor couldn't fight back, and now if Sherelle's serious about all of her statements, they are going to have to go at like Bethel and Sherelle will have to take on Krasner over and over again if we're going to fix this.
How fast do you think it gets messy? Or do you think it just stays calm because right now they're trying to coexist. She's treating him like she's throwing veiled shots at him. In her opening speech, she says, you know, $500 specifically because that's what he had in his memo. But how? Yeah. What do you think?
It's tough because I know she wants to kind of keep that moral and respectful type of relationship with him. But when he just ignores you and dismisses you and doesn't necessarily acknowledge what your vision is for the city, I think you do have to kind of go at him a little bit. Look at what just happened. The SEPTA issues. There was a 77-year-old man home invaded. There's just something every single day. Just people shot in Overbrook. Yes, like this was all just yesterday, and there's stuff constantly going
And
on.
yesterday, I mean, the freaking video that came out was disturbing as all hell.
Yeah, and I mean, could you imagine that? And they're talking that same day they put out a video that they're cleaning parts of SEPTA and that it's safe. And I get it. I trust me. I'm all for
They
public
had to meme
transit.
the crap out of that. No,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
put the two things together because like how are you going to talk about cleaning up SEPTA when something like this is happening? It's
Exactly. I mean, trust me, I'm all about public transportation, but this is exactly why people don't take it. It's horrifying. It's
you think
absolutely horrifying sometimes.
I guess we better do the job of radio people and contextualize what we're talking about. There was a video that came out, TMZ even picked it up, of a fight that broke out on a platform of SEPTA. One individual is bigger than the other guy and kind of like over him. And I think I hear, I don't know, it
It's
sounds
on
like,
Philly Crime Update. At Philly, they were the first to post it at Philly Crime Update. Our boys
yeah,
over
Philly
there.
Crime Update. And you see him get into fisticuffs and one guy,
They're kind of shoving each other a little bit
and they
back and
fall to the
forth.
ground both together, right? It's not like a punch knockout. They're both falling to the ground, and the guy one guy kicks the other, falls onto the tracks as a train's coming, and you just see the train roll over where the
It was
guy
almost
died.
like they were struggling together, and the other man who was not hit by the train is charged with involuntary manslaughter at this point, which I actually think is kind of fair, just because it doesn't seem like he tried to totally shove him in front of the train. But that's exactly, again, this is another thing. While you can't be stupid and you have to be aware of your surroundings, and stuff like this constantly will happen if we're not smart. And you can't be messing around like that near the train. And there are reports, I don't know if this is true, that one of the men down and involved in that lives at the train, stole money. Yeah, here's the video. So supposedly people are reporting that the guy against the wall stole something. So the other man is trying to get it back. They struggle together, and
Is
they
this
kind of go
edited?
back
Like,
and
is this
forth.
censored? This
No,
one?
yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay,
so.
so I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop it right. So there, and then you see that happen, and then the video goes around and shows the wreckage of what happens under the train. But freaking Philly, man, what the hell? Why are
Yeah,
they?
I mean, you could hear families screaming. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
absolutely terrifying.
it really is. It really is. I hope stuff gets better real soon. I think it will. You know, with Sherelle, I do. I have a lot of hope. Like it can't be this bad much longer. And hopefully a new president too, and not enabling of this progressive bullcrap we're seeing nationwide.
Yeah.
Chris says K&A is an S show, and now right down the street, Braun and Snyder is turning into Little Kenzo. You've noticed that at all? You go to South Philly at all?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm down there. It has its moments, it has its issues, but I do think generally South Philly it's still a good place to be in the city.
Oh yeah. We were looking to buy there when we were buying out here in
Mhm.
Jersey. Soggy writes, I'm saying there's two people watching who haven't hit the like button. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. He wasn't insulting. He was insulting our other viewers who haven't watched. So yeah, go hit the like button, go subscribe. Do us a big favor there. All right. Birds. You hear Joe Giglio today?
Oh no, what'd he say?
Oh my God, man. He goes, we should sit them in this coming week to rest them for the playoffs. And was like going hard on saying that the Sirianni should sit the players, that would give us a better shot to who do we got? Possibly the Bucks right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no. You look like you're pondering that this might be a good idea to sit the players.
I don't think it's a good idea to sit the players. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Not at all. No,
Right.
I'm not going to accept that. I don't agree with that.
Like, it's got to be one of those things where, like, before pre-show meeting, I'm going to take this stance on this issue, and I'm going to be relentless about it now.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Because, like, how do you stand? No. Week 18. God, it's weird to say week 18. You got to go play for the playoffs, man. You got to keep it going. You got to keep that momentum going. All right. I got to get out of here, I think. No? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at it here. All right, so maybe we see each other tomorrow, but have a good weekend. It's Friday. It doesn't feel like Friday. Does it feel like Friday to you?
No, it's just been such a long week. I'm ready for a snowy weekend if it is actually, because I'm cool with just chilling. So
I'm going to show you something real quick. This right here. I'm about to lay my ass right there and fall asleep for the next couple hours. You know, I'll cuddle with the bell too. Cannot wait to do that. But Anthony, it was fun. Happy New Year. We haven't said
Happy
that yet.
New Year. Yeah.
Did we?
It's too late. Larry David would yell at us, but
right. Is it too late for like during the conversation to say, or too late in the year to say?
People say, yeah, it's like, what is it? The 3rd is the last day. He says that's his rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long after conversation? All right. Let me ask you this. How long after knowing somebody are you allowed to ask what their name is?
Oh, I see.
Because you've definitely had that instance like I've had where
I've had it multiple
times.
Like
a coworker that you've talked to, had conversations with, but you have absolutely no freaking idea what their name is.
I try to find every which way to figure out what their name is before going to that point and saying, hey, what's your name again? Because I'm not, or you wait around and you hear what else someone to
like
wait for someone else to
linger
say
in the
their name.
corner.
Yeah, wait for someone else to say their name.
I did that. I did that the other day at work.
Yeah.
So there's this really nice lady that I see every day, and we have this great conversation. But I have no idea what her name is. So I'm like, and it wasn't said in the conversation either. So I've still yet to know. Maybe I'll ask you. I'll point her out to you because you probably know what I'm talking about.
That's fun.
If I point her out. Shout out to Delaware's the Soggy Donuts. Yeah, no taxes. It's freaking awesome. Very jealous. And Chris says South Philly SEPTA is effed.
Well, yeah, it's like that everywhere.
It's not just South Philly SEPTA. It's all of
Yeah.
SEPTA. All right. See you Monday. See everybody else Monday. Dining with Dom from noon until we do the whole show now from noon until 3 here on YouTube. You can catch Dawn Stensland, Kale and Company here on YouTube as well, and see Anthony is there as well. And any final thoughts before we sign off?
No. Hopefully, the Eagles don't sit everyone out, and hopefully they have a convincing win going into.
Do you think
the
there's an actual chance they do? No, there's no way.
What? Let's just have a good game.
No. Sit them. Not have a good game.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. No. Yeah.
No. All right. See you later, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time. And we'll see you on 1210 WPHT. Adios.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's not too late.